On the 6th of August 2017, Ryan Passey went out to his local nightclub in Stourbridge. That night he was stabbed, he died and never came home. Living every parent's worst nightmare, Ryan's family were made to go through the long court process in search for justice.
He was a lovely lad. He was cheeky, very polite, loved his football. He'd play football Saturday, Sunday, 3 or 4 times a week if he could. So kind, and he always had a special bond with his mum, but he loved his life to the full. Never caused me any problems whatsoever. Yeah, his work-wise, he obviously had a window cleaning round, which was called RTP, Window Cleaning Services, which was obviously Ryan's initials that he named him after. And obviously he grew that himself, started his own little business up. I can always remember one day that he left the keys in the van and the van got nicked, but he managed to get it back anyway. So, but loved his window cleaning round, loved doing what he did, and grew his business.
So I've known Ryan pretty much for the last 20 odd years or so. As I'm a neighbour of Ryan and a friend of Aids. Ryan I knew through his love of football. I worked as a football coach. I had the honour of coaching Ryan for a little while, and he was a model footballer. He'd come, he'd work hard, he'd train hard. He was a team player, always wanted to win. He was competitive, but also, you know, lose gracefully. He was a pleasure to coach, to be honest with you.
That night he went out, he actually played football in the morning, and I can remember texting him. I was away on holiday. I was away in holiday Devon. Went away for the weekend with my girlfriend.
And that was to Cornwall?
Yeah, Cornwall. Yeah, went away for the weekend, Cornwall, just for a break. And like I say, I text Ryan just to see how he got on with his football. I got a phone call about 1 o'clock, I think. Can't remember, but I had a phone call off Ryan's football manager, Mark Paul, to say that Ryan had been stabbed. And he'd been took to hospital and told me to get back out. Nothing to worry about. So obviously we made our way back home with another couple that we went away with, and I had another phone call about half an hour, something like that, 40 minutes maybe. Off Ryan's stepdad, and then I just heard his mum screaming. screaming in the background. That Ryan had passed away. Obviously, as I got back home, I was just obviously pulled up, and all the family was all outside. My sister, brothers. And a few Ryan's mates. And obviously stepping out of that car, just walking down to the house. And obviously thinking that this can't be happening. We were told Ryan was took to Coventry, and we were told that we could see Ryan to be at the hospital for 2 o'clock. I travelled up with my sister and her boyfriend and my girlfriend, where we were took into a room and saw Ryan. And we just stayed with him. And held him. Tried to wake him up. I can always remember having his wallet that the police gave me back that night, and in that wallet was enough money for him to get back home. And I think it was £10.71, which would be the old £10 note now. And that's what was left in his wallet, which is still in his bedroom. His wallet's still in his bedroom with his football boots and everything else, and it's still there now. And it's still there today. And I'll leave it there, thinking that he's going to walk out of his bedroom and get in the shower before me. And I still dream about that one day he'll be there. On Ryan's funeral day, the family came round to the house where Ryan lived, and we all had a drink for him. And obviously the car came, pulled up, and obviously we all got into the cars, and obviously where we live in the street, as you can imagine, there's a lot of people just outside, and we walked Ryan through the street, down to the street, and past the pub, and obviously we had the bells ringing. And obviously we didn't know this, but Stourbridge as a town, at 11 o'clock they had a 2 minutes silence. And obviously they rang 24 bells at the local church for him. 8 of Ryan's best mates who carried the coffin, and the rest of Ryan's mates, such as football and outside mates that we grew up with, all done a line down the church, and we walked then down, me and Jill, and the rest of the family followed, and they just followed, and obviously they sat at the back. Obviously Ryan's life was taken away. The Stourbridge as a community was very overwhelming. The support that they gave us, the family, because Stourbridge is just a small town, and I couldn't believe the amount of flowers, what was left, and the notes that people left. And obviously, going back to Ryan, he had a window cleaning round, and there was gifts left from some of his customers. And one that really touched me was reading a verse from a little old woman, and she always used to leave him a Snickers bar every time. He cleaned the windows. Sorry. And obviously she read him a verse and left it down with the flowers and his Snicker bar.
Aid and his family, in common with many victims that through no desire or wish enter our criminal justice system, feel that they have just been part of the system and then have been spat out the other end, forgotten.
In the long run up to the trial, there was a long period for the family that you could see there was clearly distressing. It was a difficult period. There were events such as Ryan's birthday, his first birthday, following his death. The family's first Christmas without Ryan, was a very difficult period that I witnessed. During that period, I don't feel that they had very much support from the criminal justice system. They kind of just left to get on with it, pretty much.
As a family, we never knew anything about the justice system, so quite frightening really. Going into court, not knowing what to expect. I'd never been in a courtroom before in my life, and I don't recall any of my family, so that was quite scary, going into that courtroom for the 10-day trial.
In all fairness, you put your trust and your faith in the criminal justice system. You go in there each day, you listen to both the defence and the prosecution arguments. At the end of each day, the family were called into a small room. I went in that room with the family. We were told that there were no concerns, nothing to worry about. The jury have got this, right the way throughout the 10 days.
we were still obviously shell shocked of what we'd just gone through, and obviously what we'd just seen, and we was just numb, we was speechless. Everybody was just speechless, couldn't believe it. Ryan's girlfriend ran out of court. There was a lot of screaming. His mum collapsed, and we was all so shocked. There was people outside who came running into the court, screaming and shouting, and we were took into. I remember the judge saying there was nothing more that we could do, and I can remember him putting his laptop down, and obviously just, court adjourned.
Here at Liberton, as experienced investigators, we believe that Ryan's story shows the true, devastating impact that knife crime has on victims, families and communities in a modern Britain.
We see daily now in the newspapers, on the TV, that more and more people are being affected by knife crime. Statistics released last week by the government have shown another increase. Knife crime is at its highest levels currently within the UK, and I don't think the government are really tackling it as thoroughly as they should be. So what we'd like from the Justice for Ryan campaign is the government and our law officials to really grab hold of this problem. I would call it an epidemic within our society at the moment that's happening in towns, cities, up and down our country, and call for a review into the knife crime, into the devastating effects of knife crime, the impacts of knife crime has on families and their victims, and put procedures in place following that review.
I saw a couple of days ago on social media of a 16-year-old kid had his life taken away through knife crime. I can just now imagine what they're going through, of what I went through, finding that news out, that losing your son, and that little kid, that young kid, and he's gone out, and obviously, so I don't know the ins and outs of the storyline of it all, but I know his life's been taken away from knife crime, and the devastation on that family now, the impact, what they must be going through. I feel, they're paying what I've actually gone through.
We can't do this on our own. We've had the support within our local town, as Adrian said throughout his interview, has been absolutely fantastic in our hometown, and we can't thank the people enough. But for us to be successful with Justice for Ryan, we need this to go national. We need people up and down our country to get behind us. We've got a petition online where we're looking to change the law, and that will be in Ryan's memory, Ryan's law. So we need people to go on there. We've been told if we can get to 100,000 signatures, our local MP can raise our campaign in Parliament. We also need help with funding. All of this, we've been left on a journey with no experience. Is going to prove to be a costly journey to fight the criminal side, and any help that the public can give us in raising funds as well. So again, if they go to our website, which is www.justiceforryan.org, there's information on there how they can support us, hold fundraising days, these kind of things, so that we can continue the fight for Ryan and continue the fight for justice.
We ask you to share the videos, sign the petition, and let us, the public, force the lawmakers to see the story behind the headlines and address the problem of knife crime.